welcome back to the channel, and as you can see we are playing the Pokemon Go Horizons event, the Pokemon Horizons event. Obviously the new season of Pokemon Horizons has been released now. The anime series available on the BBC iPlayer has came out, and that is why Pokemon Horizons has now returned back to Pokemon Go. Of course, we had the event last year when Season 1 dropped. It saw the release of Charcadet, which is now available shiny as well. But we had the release of Charcadet for the first time ever last time around, and also the Pikachu with a sailor's hat. That Pikachu is back around this time, but as you can see, we've just been trying to catch the new costume Pokemon, and this one is Florigato. So if we have a look here, you can see Florigato, which is the evolved form of Sprigatito, has now got a little hat costume, so that can be shiny as well. So we'll keep an eye out for that and see if we can get one of those. But make sure to get involved in the comments down below. It's a very, very nice sunny evening here in the UK, and I would love to get involved in the comments down below and get answering some of your questions down below as we start walking around during this event. So there's a lot of featured Pokemon. All these Pokemon that you see featured in the wild during this event are because of that Pokemon Horizons. They are featured during that series. A lot of Coco and a lot of Quaxley, 3 main starter Pokemon from that series. And then of course we have Florigato with a costume. We have Pikachu with a costume as well, that same sailor hat that it had last year. And then we also have the brand new Pokemon Tinkatink, which is only available in 7-kilometer eggs. We've got a couple there, and we can probably incubate one more to see if we can hatch one of those. And let's claim these awards here. So loads and loads happening during this event. And of course we had loads happening yesterday as well. It was of course Gigantamax Snorlax Max Battle Day, the first time we've had that added into the game. So let me know how you managed to get on with that. We're just going to take on Arlo here. Arlo's of course still got Grimer. It's been a while since we've had a rocket change, so I would fully expect in the next few weeks for us to get a rocket event of some sort in May sometime. Gyarados as its second Pokemon. We'll just get through some of the shields which Arlo's got before his Kyurem faints out. Hopefully get rid of its second shield. There we go. We will use the delay tactic. We'll switch in, and that will just stop Gyarados from attacking us again. So we can get a few fast moves off with our second Kyurem. And here comes Gyarados' move, but we'll block that. Hey Lola, thanks so much for joining the chat. Hope you're having a good day. One more Ice Burn, and that should see that sizzle off nicely. Yeah, it's not too bad today. Nice sunny weather, so can't complain too much. And we did get some decent results with the Gigantamax Snorlax yesterday, so that was good. I'm just hoping that we can pick up a few shinies during today's live stream just to finish the weekend off very nicely indeed. Shadow Grimer 292, quite a high Grimer I believe. I'll have to double check that in just a moment if it stays in the ball. Let's just catch that. So did anyone else manage to do the Gigantamax Snorlax battle day yesterday? If so, did you manage to catch any? It was very difficult to catch. The catch circle was incredibly hard to hit. 2-star Grimer, sadly missing a lot from the defense. No, we managed, in my community, we managed 14 Snorlax in total, and we luckily caught them all, which was very, very lucky because, like I say, the catch circle was very, very difficult to hit. There was definitely some sort of glitch with it where it made it incredibly difficult to hit the catch circle, but we did catch all 14, so very, very lucky in that respect. And we managed to get 2 shinies, which is pretty cool. So Blacephalon, of course, Blacephalon in raids at the moment. Welcome to the chat, thanks very much. I should have a couple of friend spaces available, so should be able to add me in just a moment. What we'll do first is that there's a grey gym up here, which is a gym that I added in a couple of days ago, so we'll go and add on that first, and then I'll share my trainer code if anyone wants to add me. Yeah, I'm trying to find some raids. There is a wormhole there, actually 9 minutes. Could potentially go do that one. Or we can carry on the route that I was going to walk and see what raids we bump into. There is a Florigato with its nice little hat, cat in a hat. So that wormhole is Blacephalon. In fact, we are in the UK, we're on the western side of the hemisphere, so therefore we get Blacephalon. Of course, eastern hemisphere get Stakataka, and that will change as of tomorrow. Tomorrow we will get the Cresselia raids as a tier 5 worldwide. So this is the last day for Blacephalon or Stakataka. So if you are wanting Blacephalon, let me know and we can find some raids near me and I can invite you. First of all, let's go add on this grey gem. We added this in game a couple of days ago, and we've not yet managed to go up here to actually add on. So you already have a Shundo. That is incredibly lucky. Well done. That is very, very cool. Was it a weather boosted Shundo or a normal? 1884 is a normal CP for a Hundo. Of course, weather boosted, I think it's 2355 or something along those lines. $18.84, yeah, that's mint. Hey Pan Man, how are you? Yeah, it's got to be instantly maxed, hasn't it? Anything that's Shundo gets instantly maxed. I've even got a Shundo Oddish, and I've got it up to level 50. I haven't even evolved it, it's still an Oddish. But still, level 50. It's got to be done. Good. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. We're just going to add on this new gym. And then we might do some raids in just a moment as well. we'll probably go ahead and put our daily adventure incense on, which hasn't really brought us many birds recently. But hopefully today that will be different. So what Pokemon can we put on this brand new gym? Let's have a quick look and see. We want a shiny, that's for definite. What is quite a rare shiny? Let's go for costume, with it being the current event. Do quite like the Gengar with a party hat and the Nidorino. Let's go for Nidorino. Nidorino with a party hat. We'll just bury that now, just to get a few extra points. Obviously 10 berries are maximum you can put in a gym for the first half an hour anyway. Once half an hour is finished, you can go to the gym again and put another 10 berries on. So we've took over the gym. Let's just spin it. I don't think we did that. And we will start heading towards some more gyms. If anybody does want to add me for any Glacier Fallon raids, we might also do some mega raids. So Mega Sceptile is currently the mega raid boss. Then let me know. I will put my trainer code up on the screen now. If anybody does want to add me, please go ahead and do so now. Make sure to take a screenshot of it or write down the number as quick as you can. And I will add you during the live stream. And if a raid pops up that you want me to do or want an invite to, let me know in the comments and I will invite you as we go along. So as we mentioned before, these spawns are because of a Pokemon Horizons event, and you will remember that we had one of those last year from season 1 of Pokemon Horizons. This is season 2 that has just been released. So this is why we are seeing similar sort of Pokemon spawns to last year during the first Pokemon Horizons event that we had. Hey Broski, how are you? Yeah, so we're seeing similar sort of spawns to the first Horizon event. The difference is, of course, is that we are getting that Florigato costume for the first time, which is awesome. We are also getting the Pikachu costume as well, but of course that did get featured last year. But still, very, very cool chance to get that shiny. If you did miss out last year, you can try and get that one shiny this year. And both those are wild spawns as well as in raids, and they are increased odds. So both the costume shinies are increased odds of shiny. They are 1 in 64 to 1 in 128 within that parish. So they're not full odds, which is of course 1 in 512. They are very well boosted. It's just finding them. We're not seeing many spawns about at the moment in the wild for either of those, but we can hopefully drop on a couple of those today. That will be very, very cool. So Daily Adventure Incense is on now. And we are going to start heading up towards some more gyms to see what raids are about. The only thing about living in the countryside is that it's sometimes a fair distance between any stops or gyms, but the spawns are still pretty good, being that there's nothing nearby. But as you can see, it's literally just fields behind me where we've come from. I will be doing raid invites yet. Let me know what you want an invite to. And if you want to add me, ready for those raid invites, and make sure to add me using that trainer code on screen there. Now we'll be doing raid invites as we go along. Brookish off a daily. Of course, not long since that got released shiny. So let's use some of these Pokeballs. We're close to 1,000 Pokeballs, so we might as well use those. Hatch an egg. Now the research tasks, the event research tasks of Hatch an Egg and trade a Pokemon are guaranteed to be this little guy, this Pikachu with a sailor hat. So we are going to keep an eye out for those tasks. There is no research tasks which give Florigato or Tinkatink. Tinkatink is only available in 7km eggs or off the special research if you brought the $4.99 ticket, the same ticket where you got the avatar pose with a huge hammer, as you can see I've got as well. So the avatar pose looks like that. Very, very cool. But yeah, here in the UK we get the Western Hemisphere, so we are Glacier Fallon for any wormholes that appear. There's a 1-star Rockruff down there. So we are heading towards a bit of civilization now. No shiny Florigato there. They are terrible for staying in the balls, these Florigatos are. There we go, caught on that occasion. Sprigatito. No shiny. Of course, out of all these 3 starter Pokemon, the only one that we've had shiny, or the only 2 that we've had shiny so far, is Sprigatito and Furcoco. Both of those have had a community day already. Quaxley has not yet had a community day, so you can't get that shiny at the moment. But hopefully in the next couple of months that will get a community day. Now, in typical Niantic fashion, Furcoco shiny was actually turned off during this event for the first few days, and then we eventually turned it back on. It went under the radar, but there was a lot of reports from people saying that they'd not managed to get the shiny Furcoco after hundreds of checks. People who had missed out on the previous com day. But apparently that is now fixed, so you have turned that shiny back on. Oriakoro. Of course, the red Oriakoro that we have here in the UK. So keeping an eye on these raids as we go round. Bird off the incense, but not the bird we want. It is in fact a Swallow. The evolved form of Tailo, which isn't what we wanted at all off this daily adventure incense. We are going to get a shiny glowing bird this year. We are. I keep on trying to tell myself that. We're nearly into May now, and we have still not managed to get one. And we do our daily adventure incense every single day, and we've still not managed to get a shiny one yet. I could probably count on one hand how many encounters with glaring birds we've had this year, to be fair. Not many at all. Hopefully it's quality over quantity and we'll get a shiny one very, very soon. Maybe even today. Florigato up ahead. Increased costume shiny, as we mentioned. No shiny there. The most obvious thing that changes with Florigato is that pink little flower or yo-yo, whatever it is, that's on its neck. That goes to a purple colour. Storage is full. That is not good when we've got the daily adventure incense on. Let's clear some of this stuff out. And we need to use our free incubator because our free incubator is currently not incubating anything, which isn't good. Let's get that into use. Hey, how are you? Glad you can join this time round. 14 days they've been on that gym for, and they've buried it recently, so we definitely need a badge. We'll leave them on there for that. So with us having our daily adventure incense on, I'm only using one Pokeball throw, tactic and carry on, just because I need to keep moving for that daily adventure spawns to come in. Once that's finished, we can take our time a little bit with the throws and try and make sure these actually catch. Florigato off for daily. Is this going to be the first shiny of today? I'm going to call it shiny Florigato. No. It's worth a try. Positive thinking and all that. It's definitely worth a try. Did manage to stay in though. Unlike this guy over here, which did not. Excellent throw on Himbo. Unfortunately, you can't trade Pokemon unless you're close to each other. Annoyingly, it would be really, really cool if you could trade from far away. But annoyingly, you have to be really close to trade, unfortunately. I know one of the tasks during this event is trade a Pokemon, and that does reward the Pikachu with a sailor hat. But unfortunately, I'm unable to trade with you while you're so far away. Please come in Zaragoza for trade. Unfortunately, I'm not planning to go to Zaragoza anytime soon, so that wouldn't be possible, unfortunately. Clauncher off a daily adventure. Was the most wanted shiny of this year, and we did manage to get it. We did manage to get it during the Deep Depths event when it was increased shiny. We managed to get 3, in fact, during that event. Very, very cool event. Shiny Pikachu? No. Thanks very much for subscribing. Really do appreciate it. So what is people's guess on the first shiny of what we're going to have on the live stream? Is it going to be one of the boosted costume shinies? Is it going to be one of the starter Pokemon? What are people going to guess is going to be our first shiny of the live stream today? Vanillite off the daily. No shiny, but hopefully that'll be easy to get shiny as of next weekend. It will have its community day next weekend on Sunday the 27th. Awesome. How many Gigantamax Snorlax did you do to get the shiny? I think I got my first shiny Gigantamax Snorlax yesterday on the 5th or 6th one that we did. Managed to get 2 in total, which was awesome. Very, very lucky as well. I know a lot of people who didn't manage to get any. So yeah, 2 Gigantamax Snorlax. It's such a cool Gigantamax as well. I like how the tree changes colour. I don't know if people notice that as well. Obviously, the Snorlax, the blue of Snorlax goes to that deep blue, as we all know with Snorlax shiny. But the tree on top of Gigantamax Snorlax is normally green, and when it's shiny, it goes to that lovely autumny colour. So it goes from a summer tree to an autumn tree. It's very, very cool. Both my shinies were terrible IVs though, so we are going to hope that someone's got another one that we can lucky trade and see if we can get a better one from that. Recently as well with the lucky trades, we have not been having much luck with our lucky trades. So if we type in shiny and traded, you can see here what we recently lucky traded, and it's not good in terms of this Kyurem that we had today. Not very good at all, really. Ghastly, again, still hunting for that Shundo Ghastly to get us our Shundo Gengar. Of course, Gengar, our most favourite Pokemon, as you can see, wearing a Gengar hoodie today. That one was very annoying. A 98 shiny Ghastly from a lucky trade, 14, 15, 15. Yeah, that's the third one of those that I've had from a lucky trade. Not very good at all. Kratos for daily, that's a nice spawn. It has been a while since we've seen a Kratos. Yeah, so for anybody who's wondering how many times we've tried to get a Shundo Ghastly or Shundo Gengar from a lucky trade, let's just have a look. Lucky and Ghastly and Show Evolution. So 65 of them so far have been lucky traded to try and get a Shundo. Let's just type in shiny as well there to just number that down. 55 have been shiny ones, so we've tried, but so far we've not yet succeeded. I think the odds of getting a Shundo from a lucky trade are 1 in 64, so hopefully within the next 9 trades we'll get that Shundo. Of course, I know it's not a guarantee that it's going to be 1 in 64, but still, optimism and all that. Pikachu, shiny Pikachu, let's go. The first shiny of the live stream is this Sailor Hat Pikachu. Look at him. And he's a boy as well. Shiny Pikachu with a Sailor Hat. Let's go. 36 CP. Close to a level 1 there. Probably around about a level 2 or level 3 from that CP. Very, very nice. Shiny Pikachu though. Awesome looking Pikachu. 0 star. As always with shinies. They always seem to be terrible IVs. But still, the first shiny of today's live stream is a shiny Pikachu, which is pretty cool during this event. Now let's get the other shiny costume of this event, the Florigato the cat in a hat. Let's try and see if we can get him during the live stream as well. Very, very happy with that Pikachu. Don't know how many of that costume we've had shiny so far. I think we had one last year. But we will check in just a moment after the daily is finished. Local raids, we have a Blacephalon down there. It's quite a far way away, but we do have a Blacephalon. I'm hoping that there's more down here in the direction that we're heading in. Does anybody want a Blacephalon raid that is currently watching or in the comments? Make sure to let me know. Ten minutes left of the daily, and since we've glitched out, we can't rotate our Pokemon. So let's just feed our buddy, and hopefully that will allow us to do that. Sometimes if you freeze on a map and just go onto your buddy and feed it, it does allow you to spin back around again. There we are. Pikachu off the photo encounter, the photo bomb. This time female and no shiny. This one still female and no shiny. So I don't think we've had a female Pikachu with a sailor hat shiny so far. But like I say, we will double check that in just a moment. A couple of new Pokestops up there that we added a couple of weeks ago. Same time we managed to get that new gym in game. We managed to add a few new Pokestops, so that's pretty cool that they've come in game now. It's the first time I've seen those. Here is the Tinkatink. No. Hatita. We did have two hatch and eggs in, which was pretty cool. Another couple of encounters with Pikachu. Florigato not really playing game. And now it's run away. So we need to put something else in the incubator. And we have an egg space. So let's go ahead and put a 7-kilometer egg in. Let's just open one of these gifts. And hopefully this gift from Brazil gives us a 7-kilometer egg. There we go. First one. The drop rate on these 7-kilometer eggs this event has been pretty terrible. So I'm happy to get one on the first one there. Let's use our super again. See if we can hatch a Tinkatink. Hatch an egg. Pikachu. No. Quite close to a hundo though. No shiny off that task. Another one. Pikachu. No shiny and nowhere near the hundo. Hundo, if you're wondering, off a task is 402 CP. That is the hundo Pikachu. No matter what the costume is, it is a hundo Pikachu CP is 402. So nowhere near on that one. Not even worth checking. It will no doubt be a 2-star. Let's just see if we've managed to get any 4 stars recently. No. We managed to get a Fur Cocoa a couple of days ago, but since then we've had nothing. Now, one of the bonuses during this event is of course, Tinkatink in 7-kilometre eggs, which is only obtainable from gifts, as we've just opened one. But it is also 2 times or half egg hatch distance, should I say. So 7-kilometre egg in a normal incubator will only take 3.5. In a super, of which we've just put one in, is only going to take 2.3. So we should be hatching those eggs pretty quickly today. That is until our super incubator that we've currently got breaks, which I don't know if this is the last time use on this one, or whether we've got one more. A couple of Dynamaxes as well down here, which we've got loads of particles left to collect today. So I'm hoping we can collect some of those. Now, being that we did our walking yesterday during the Gigantamax Snorlax, we can actually claim 600 from walking. So the tactic may well be to collect them from all the power spots first, get down to a stage where we are very close to running out of today's limit, and then collect the walking ones, which will give us an additional 600. That will put us in good stead for, of course, the Max Monday, which is tomorrow. Now, in terms of raids down here, we have got 5 raids in view. There is actually a mega raid as well, but that's an hour away until that hatches. It's only just literally spawned in as an egg. There is a phalanx there, but I'm unsure whether we can actually solo that as a Dynamax. What's good against phalanx? Metagross? Psychic against fighting? Potentially. Might as well try it, see if we can get somewhere. So raid invite for a Blacephalon. But we don't really want to use the raid passes on that, if we can help it. The remote raid passes are very expensive nowadays, and I'd rather spend them on the Stack Attacker. But even that, this event, we've managed to get shiny, so we're not in much of a rush to spend any more this event. We've had a couple of events now where we've had to use some remote raid invites, and it's dragged our coin total down quite a lot. Of course, with the Tauros, which was only available East and Western Hemisphere, and also in the Iberian states, so that's the likes of Spain, Portugal, and the areas very close by to those countries. So 3 different forms of Tauros, Paldean Tauros, of course, were available. So we had to use some remote raid invites for those, and then of course we've had the Stack Attacker be released shiny, which we don't get here in the UK. Unless you are right on the east coast of the UK, you might be able to get Stack Attacker there. But here where I am, we only get Blacephalon, and we are quite far away from the Meridian line, which would be the middle waypoint in which we get Stack Attacker. Let's clear out some more Pokemon storage and go again. So there is a Dynamax Machop down here, which we can do. Try to get that shiny one. We are yet to get a shiny Dynamax Machop. Hey, thanks very much for joining. Team Mystic has joined my chat, so thanks very much for that. You are joining us as we are just about to get a shiny Florigetto. Yes, we did. No way. I called it. Yes. Shiny Florigetto with a costume. I said that randomly. I've been saying it all live stream, and that time it worked. Shiny Florigetto in a hat. So that is a Pikachu and a Florigetto now we've got on the live stream. That is pretty insane that we managed to call that as well. That is pretty cool. Although it does not want to stay in the ball. Don't be a runner. There we go. Great ball diver trick. That is pretty cool. Nice Florigetto with a hat. Is there anything in particular that you want to see on my account? Highest CP Pokemon, lowest CP Pokemon, shiny count, anything in particular? So high CP Pokemon is my fused white Kyurem, which is running at 5,206 CP. Of course, that is a Hundo one as well, so that is the highest you can get a Kyurem. It is level 50. Then our next highest is Regigigas, which used to be our highest for many, many years until that Kyurem came along during the recent Go Tour. So loads and loads of level 50 Pokemon. And then recent shinies, we've got loads of shinies recently. We did manage to get 2 Gigantamax Snorlax yesterday. So we go to recent shiny. We have managed to get a Pikachu and a Florigetto today during the live stream. We've done a couple of lucky trades trying to get a Shundo Ghastly, but no luck. Got really close with that one, a 98. But we did manage to get 2 shiny Gigantamax Snorlax, which are pretty cool. Daily Adventure Incense is complete. Dynamax Machop is here, ready and waiting for us to take it down. So let's jump in on that one and see how we get on. Of course, very, very easy to take these down. They are 400 max particles. The same as a level 3 Dynamax. But Machop is only a level 2, so it's relatively easy to take down, especially if you've got some level 50 Dynamax Gengars, as we have here. Arguably one of my most favourite animations is when Gengar Gigantamax is on this game. It's very, very cool. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. Even better when it's shiny. But unfortunately, we haven't managed to get a decent one of those. Got 2 shinies, I think, in total now. Gigantamax Gengar, but no decent ones, unfortunately. But there we have it. Machop is down and out. Dynamax Machop Hundo CP to watch out for is 730. Can we get anywhere near that on this Machop? 6,000 XP. 713. Not too far away, but probably not in a parish where it's worth keeping. Broke out the first ball. Let's try again. Excellent throw that time. Second time we caught it, and I probably prefer that one because it's an excellent throw, so an additional 1100 XP, and it has got attack, but the rest of the stats are pretty appalling really. 13 defense, 10 HP. Something we can add on to the evolution pile, but not really worth spending any Stardust powering up. So let's go and collect the particles from this phalanx here. So there's a phalanx. Don't think we're going to be able to take this down solo. You know what, we might as well try. Let's see if we can. I don't think I've ever attempted dynamite phalanx as a solo. We're here now, so we might as well try, haven't we? Let's go for it. Dynamax Phalanx solo. It's recommending Gengar, which, of course, we use that just against wonder whether Metagross might be a better counter for us with it being psychic. We might change one of those Gengars for Metagross. Let's see how we go with that. I've never attempted this as a solo. This is going to be a first attempt, so it could go horribly wrong, or we could nail it first time. Only way to find out. Good thing with these power spots, with these max battles, is that you don't lose the 400 max particles that it costs to go into them, or however many it costs, depending on what tier it is. You don't lose those max particles. You only lose those particles if you defeat it, so if you actually get reward from it, which is a lot better than raids, where of course raids, you lose your raid pass as soon as you enter the battlefield, like I have now, and you can't get them back. Can't get those raid passes back even if you do lose. So there's no harm in trying this. How well it's going to go is yet to be seen. Gengar's lasting a long time though. Mega Horn is not doing any damage really to Gengar, which is good. And there was just an attack coming in, we just avoided that one. Gigantamax Gengar. Okay, not too bad damage. Is a level 3 max move on this Gigantamax Gengar. So it's doing decent enough damage. Switch back into the Dynamax Gengar. Probably just dodged at it. Oh, we did dodge it just in time. That's surprising. I thought we missed that dodge then. So let's just sit down while we take this down, hopefully. Preparing a large attack, and we just managed to get into that bubble there before we got attacked, so that's good. Gigantamax Gengar again out on the field. G-Max Terra incoming. Awesome animation. And of course comes from the anime series where Gigantamax Gengar does the exact same move, chucks loads of tables and chairs. So it's really cool that we've implemented that. And we haven't dodged out of that superpower. That could wipe us out. No, not very effective still. Now, a lot of people ask me why aren't I using the charge attacks. The charge attacks in these Dynamax actually don't count towards a max meter. So it does do normal damage, but they don't count towards powering up that max meter, which is what we need to do to get to the Dynamax stage. So that is why we just keep spamming the fast moves. And Gengar's a really, really good one to charge up that Dynamax meter, because its fast move is actually a very, very fast move. It's a very, very quick move indeed. Only just 5 damage, but it doesn't matter about how much damage your fast move does. If it's a quick one, then it'll be quick to charge up that max meter. And that is what we were finding yesterday when we were doing the Gigantamax Snorlax, is that people that had Dynamax Blissey with Pound as a fast move were managing to charge up that max meter really, really quickly. So Pound is another good one. And Blissey is going to be a very, very useful tank in the Gigantamax and Dynamax feature. Superpower is not doing us very good against this. Mega Horn. Yeah, we can survive a few Mega Horns, but can we survive enough to get to another charge move? Dodge that superpower, but potentially still going to hit us out. It has done. Can we get that meter up before the Gengar gets taken out? There we go, Gigantamax Gengar coming in yet again, and this should see us to victory. Let's see if that is the case. And there we go, the first one that we've managed to do, the first one that we've attempted to do in terms of Phalanx, and we've managed it. So 2 Gengars, 1 Gigantamax, 1 Dynamax, and also a Dynamax Metagross. But it did recommend 3 Gengars, and Gengar did really, really well in that battle, so potentially it was worthwhile staying with 3 Gengars. But still, we managed it, nonetheless. I think if we didn't manage it, we'd go back in with 3 Gengars, because they did last a very, very long time with that moveset. But of course, each time you do go in on a Dynamax or Gigantamax battle, its moveset does reset, so you could end up with a different moveset going against you, which could be better or worse, depending on what your Pokemon are. Phalanx not wanting to stay in the ball. Not shiny, unfortunately. Don't know if this is a good one. I've not got too many Dynamax Phalanx, so this is probably only the 3rd or 4th one I've ever got of the Phalanx. Just hasn't been something I've been willing to take on, and it is a 93, so we'll take that one. A 15, 14, 13, so that is pretty decent for a Phalanx. We won't be doing too many of these, so I'm quite happy with that. Phalanx, amazingly, does have a Mega coming out as well on the new Pokemon Legends ZA game, and hopefully we don't make it any bigger than what it is, because it's an absolutely huge Pokemon. And if you've ever seen it on gyms and stuff like that, it virtually takes up the whole screen when you walk past the gym. But a 93 Phalanx is not a bad Dynamax Phalanx at all, so we'll happily take that. Now, the spawns around here, got some pretty decent spawns, and we will get another shiny Florigato on the next click. No, not going to call it that time. We've already called 1 shiny today, so no calling it again. The starter Pokemon, of course, around at the moment, all because of the Pokemon Horizons series that's available now on BBC iPlayer. And also in other countries, you might be able to get it on other formats as well. But here in the UK, we have it on BBC iPlayer, which is pretty cool. It means that it's available to watch for everybody, free of charge here in the UK. You don't have to have Netflix or Amazon Prime to be able to watch it. I think most Pokemon series recently have been on Netflix. So it's quite cool that this one is available to free to watch. Dealing, no shiny Dealing. Shiny got released during the Pokemon Go tour at the start of March. So 6 o'clock, the balloon has arrived, and let's go ahead and see what the rocket is. Battle against my flying type, so easy one to take down. Normally a Pidgey or a Starly or a Tailo. This time it's a Tailo. Gligar as the second Pokemon. Now Gligar can be shiny from the Rocket Grunts, but it is only half odds, so that's 1 in 256. They're not a high chance of being shiny, but still, if we do encounter it, because you can encounter the first or the second Pokemon from most of these Rocket battles. I think it's an 85% chance of encountering the first Pokemon you take down, and the 15% chance of encountering the second one. There is no chance of encountering the last one, so we can't get Pidgey up there. Explore 2 kilometers is done. Need to keep an eye on what research tasks we have going now though. There is our Shadow Tailo, 258 CP. I don't know if that's any good or not. Let's catch it and find out. Now we are just going to head back in range to where we did the Dynamax Machop and collect the particles from that power spot. 2-star Tailo. Not brilliant. Still. So what tasks have we managed to get in so far? Defeat 2 Team Go Rocket members. Let's see if any of these are hatch an egg or trade a Pokemon. Explore 2 kilometers. We don't want that really. Explore 2 kilometers again. A lot of Quagsire about this event as well. It's obviously one of the ones that's featured during the series. And there are other particles from that one. Seems a little bit disappointing that the Quaxly Shiny hasn't been released yet. Out of all the starter Pokemon that are currently about, it's the only one not to have a community day so far. We had Sprigatito right at the start of the year. We had Furcoco this last month. And Quaxly is probably going to be towards the end of this year, or at least the second half of this year. We normally get the Dragon Community Day around about June time, and the Dragon that is featured on that Community Day tends to be the one that got shiny released from the previous year's Go Fest. So following that same pattern, it would be Jangamo, which would be the June Community Day, but that is just me following a pattern. We might break that pattern, of course, but that is what I'm going to guess is going to be the June Community Day. But Quaxly could be before then. Could be the May Community Day. You never know. So particle wise, we have 560 more to collect. We want to collect some more off some more power spots before we go ahead and collect that 600. And ideally, if we do collect 560, we will actually be over. So we could do with doing another power spot at some stage. Extremely sunny evening here in the UK. Very, very nice. Ideal walking weather. It's not too hot. Just about perfect. Already spun that gym. In that short moment then I'd already forgot that I'd already spun that gym, but here we go. Now there is another showcase up here, and we've already added on a couple of showcases during this event, and the showcases do finish today. So we have got a Tinkatink on a showcase, and we have got a Florigato on a showcase. So let's see what this showcase is up here. Research, spin 5 Pokestops or gyms. We don't really want to do that. We want to try and keep an eye out for the Pikachu tasks, a trader Pokemon, and hatch an egg. So here we go, the second Florigato shiny of the day. No. Disappointing. Critical catcher, so not too bad. But slightly disappointing that we couldn't do better with that, with calling a shiny there. 34 minutes until we see a Mega Sceptile, which we can do as a solo if people want to see me attempt that. No Pikachu shiny. So we are going to get rid of these tasks. Don't think we're going to be doing a rocket anytime soon from the stops that are up ahead of us. We'll keep that one though. Make 3 great curveball throws. It's quite achievable. Tinkatink again. Enter that one. Rank 1. Only just. About 30 points ahead of them. I've always thought that with costume Pokemon, it's a shame that the costume they're wearing doesn't change colour as well when it's shiny. That'll be pretty cool as a feature. Even if it's just a soul change. So for example on Florigato you could have like a red ribbon on its hat instead of a blue ribbon. Something like that would be quite nice. Florigato underneath, no shiny. Just need to go back and get in range of that Pokestop to see what the task is. 3 excellent throws means that that great throw task is now complete. And the Florigato still haven't stayed in the ball. Very annoying to catch during this event. Trade a Pokemon, that is a guaranteed Pikachu, but unfortunately we've got no one to trade a Pokemon with, so not something we can do immediately. task is now complete. Let's spin some of these and see what we get. We've got defeat 2 Pokemon, 2 Rocket Grunt members, which is not ideal. Get rid of that one again. What task does this stop give us? Terrible one again. We've not got many good stops around here. Of course, these are with an AR task in. If you want to try and mix up the raids that you are getting, you can actually, of course, delete your AR task and then respin the stops, and it will give you a completely different task. We're not going to waste time doing that today. Now we're on 12% battery, which means I've got to plug in the external battery pack, which does mean I have to unplug the microphone that I'm using. So there will be a slight change in audio quality in just a moment. But you should be able to hear me just fine anyway, so I'll do that now. So you should just be able to hear me okay. A little bit different in the audio quality, but still should be good enough. Now that we are away from the roads, at least anyway. Hatch an egg. There is a task that we want. So that is a Pikachu task. And we are surrounded by Quagsire. It's almost like we've joined a Quagsire army right here, right now. Yes, Quagsire, I will do what you want me to do, Quagsire. Don't all team up on me. Pokemon storage is full. Again. Let's clear that out. Again. So if you are tuning into the live stream, if you've only just joined us, we are currently doing the Pokemon Horizons event on Pokemon Go. And we've managed to get 2 shinies so far on the live stream. We've managed to get a shiny Pikachu with a sailor hat. And we've managed to get a shiny Florigato with its straw hat, I want to say. So yeah, both hat Pokemon, both costume Pokemon, we've managed to get shiny. We are still looking to try and hatch a Tinkatink, which is a new Pokemon, only available in 7km eggs, and also off the research, a special research, if you brought the $4.99 ticket. So that is a ticket that comes with the really cool avatar animation, which we have managed to get. The very, very cool avatar animation, as you can see here in just a moment. Let's just show you that now. Massive hammer. Obviously Tinkatink's evolved form has a huge hammer like that, and that is what it's based off. So we have a task space available. Let's see what this task is here. And how many of these tasks are we going to get today? Defeat 2 Team Go Rocket Grunts. No thanks. I'd rather not. Give me a trade of Pokemon or a hatch and egg. That would be better. Hey Ruthless, thanks so much for dropping in. Hope you're okay. It's been a while since I've seen you on the stream. Well, I hope you're doing okay. Shiny Pikachu? No. No. Not a shiny Pikachu, unfortunately. 320 max particles to collect. So if we collect another 240, so that's another 2 power spots. That means our total goes up to 970, and we have 80 left to collect. So then if we collect that 600 walking after that, we then get 1,570 during the day. So that is pretty decent going. So that is a plan. That will set us up nicely for tomorrow's Max Monday, which we'll be live for again. Max Monday tomorrow night. Exactly 24 hours from now, we'll be live again during that Max Monday. So make sure to tune in for that. Make sure to put a reminder on your phone, or even better, subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell, and YouTube will remind you for you. Trade a Pokemon. Well, I'm happy we've got Pikachu tasks in. It's just unfortunate that we haven't got anybody to trade a Pokemon with. But still, we've got some Pikachu tasks in now that we can do later when we find someone. Raid wise, I'm still eyeing up that Mega Sceptile when it hatches at 6:42. So 25 minutes time, we can do that. I was going to spin that stop, but it seems a bit pointless being that we're filled with tasks already. How many more kilometres are we away from hatching this egg? We are just about to hatch it, in fact. So let's head down to this Pokestop, and it should just hatch when we get there. So 7-kilometre egg, incoming. Hundo Tinkatink, incoming. Wishful thinking yet again, but you know, we might as well try it. If we think there's going to be a Hundo Tinkatink, there will be a Hundo Tinkatink. I'm hoping. Got to hatch soon. We are literally on 2.3 out of 2.3. Hey, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, I'm doing okay. We have managed to get 2 shinies so far on the live stream. And it's a very nice sunny day, so I can't complain too much, really. Can't complain at all. Hope you're having a good day as well. Come on, 7-kilometre egg, where are you? Yeah, so the shinies we managed to get so far today are Florigato with a hat and also a Pikachu with a hat. So both costume shinies we managed to get. Of course, both of them are boosted as well during this event. Between 1 in 64 to 1 in 128 is the odds for those. But you just tuned in as we are about to get our second shiny Florigato. No. Can't do that, can I? We did call one of them before. The shiny Florigato that we had before, we actually managed to call it. And it worked in really well, but let us down that time. 7-kilometre egg, Tinkatink, Chocolate, but still decent 7k. Unfortunately not shiny, and those RVs, what do they remind you of? That might be the game's way of telling me to go do one. Tinkatink! We have a Tinkatink, and it's a 467 CP, which is a 2-star. Not brilliant, but still, Tinkatink nonetheless. We have managed to get one on the live stream, which is what I wanted. We have a couple of egg spaces free, so before we spin those stops to see what the tasks are, let's go ahead and open this gift here, and 7-kilometer egg. I don't know if anyone else has managed to get 7-kilometer eggs easily out of these gifts. It's been very much mixed bag with me. It's been, as you can see there, no 7-kilometer egg on that one. Sometimes I've gone 5 or 6 gifts without even getting a single 7-kilometer egg, and then sometimes I've managed to get one straight away. Dragon mural. Another 7-kilometer egg, so that's that one done. We have 2 7-kilometer eggs in. So let's claim the hatch and egg task, which is a Pikachu, but nowhere near the Hundo CP. And let's spin that one, which is another. This task is everywhere today. Defeat 2 Team Go Rocket Grunts. It seems to be on every stop. It's ridiculous. And there's no rockets. There's literally no rockets about us. None. There's one across there on a new stop, but still not enough to do the task. I'm not going to wait till 7 o'clock to be able to do the one off a balloon. That is ridiculous. Anyway, we carry on. Let's put these 7 kilometers in incubators. One in the free, one in the super. So anyone tuning in late, did you manage to do any Gigantamax Snorlax yesterday? Did you manage to do any of those? We managed to do 14 in my community, which was pretty decent. Of course, the event did get extended till 7 PM, so we had 5 hours. But after 3 hours, our community had enough. So we sort of disbanded. There wasn't enough of us to carry on after 3 hours. But I was happy with what we managed to get, 14 Gigantamax Snorlax, and we managed to catch them all, even though there was that catch glitch, which meant it was incredibly difficult to try and get any sort of throw. It was the lightest throw. We just went miles and miles. So still, very, very happy that we managed to get 14 caught and 14 seen, which is pretty decent. And also we did manage to get very, very lucky with the shinies. Shiny odds yesterday during the Snorlax Max Battle Day was 1 in 10, same as a raid day. And we did manage to get 2 in 14, which was obviously very much above the odds. So extremely happy with that. Yeah, don't forget the postcards for Scatterbugs, a very good reminder. Yeah, Gigantamax is... I like the Gigantamax for the sakes of the change in appearance. It's similar to a Mega, but of course Megas are a lot more useful because you can use them in normal raids, you can use them in gym battles. Can't place them on a gym, unfortunately, as a Mega, but they are very, very useful in that respect. I think the Gigantamax Pokemon that I like the most are the ones that can Mega as well. So the likes of Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, doing Gigantamax as well for those is actually like a double use. Gengar as well. Because if you get a good one, you can use it in terms of a Mega as a Mega for gyms and stuff like that and for normal raids. And then if you also get a good one, you can then use it in future Dynamax or Gigantamax. So it has a double use in that aspect. So I do like those sort of Pokemon that have got a Mega as well as a Gigantamax. But the likes of Snorlax, it's a very, very cool appearance change with all the foliage on its belly. Hundo Lucky Machamp, wicked. Is that a Dynamax Machamp or just a normal Machamp? Huge congrats on that though. So yeah, I like the appearance change in Gigantamax, but it's still a little bit disappointing when it can't have a double use. Normal Machamp, that is still a very good fighting type, so congrats on that. And it's a Hundo, so it's definitely worth maxing that out. Yeah, so for instance with Gengar, for example, I managed to get a 98% Gigantamax Gengar from a Lucky Shade. So let's have a look at that one. And one of them I've actually placed on a power spot. Yeah, so for instance Gengar, I've managed to get a Hundo Dynamax. So as you can see here, it can Dynamax like that, or it can Mega Evolve like that. So we might as well Mega Evolve that just for the sakes of it. But of course you can't Mega when it's in its Dynamax form. You can only do one or the other. So now it's Mega'd, it can't Dynamax. So you won't be able to use it in Dynamax battles for the next 8 hours. Unless you change what you've Mega'd. But still, it's very cool that you can do one or the other. Gigantamax, again, you can either have it as a Gigantamax Gengar, or you can Mega Evolve it as a Mega Gengar. So it's, again, works as a double use. Purposely chose Gengar there because Gengar is my most favourite Pokemon, if you don't already know. Just bear with me as I navigate through these woods. That is very cool. Shiny Dynamax Machamp is very cool. I love the green that Machamp goes to when it's shiny. My biggest wish on this game is of course to get a Shundo Gengar. And I feel it's only right to get a Shundo Gengar without using the potential. It's not yet been fully confirmed, but of course bottle caps, if you don't already know, bottle caps in the main series games on the Nintendo Switch, you can use bottle caps to level up certain stats of your Pokemon, and there's been a lot of rumours that the bottle cap feature is going to be coming into Pokemon Go, and that means potentially you can make a Pokemon your buddy. That is crazy. I'm well jealous of that. If you've got a shiny Shundo Gassy, that is very lucky. But yeah, in terms of bottle caps, yeah, that is ridiculous. But yeah, in terms of bottle caps off the main series game and how they may work in Pokemon Go, I tell you what, I'll explain that in just a moment. Let's go and have a sit down at a very nice viewing spot, and I'll show you the view as well. It's incredibly nice, and we can talk a bit about how bottle caps may come into Pokemon Go and how they may be implemented. I love this viewing spot down here. It's one of the most peaceful. Thanks very much for a subscribe, by the way. Really do appreciate that. But down here is one of the most peaceful places that I know of around these parts. As you can see, fields behind me. A little bit of a wooden deck in place here. And a lovely little lake, which is absolutely fantastic viewing. So, I think I'll take a seat here. Yeah, so 1K was reached really surprisingly quite recently, yeah. So I was really happy with that. Managed to hit that. Probably the end of last year we managed to hit that, which was really, really good. I was hoping to try and hit 1K last year. It was sort of a shot in the dark, trying to hit that many subscribers, but we did do it. It was very, very cool that we did that. But yeah, in terms of bottle caps, as we were talking about before, in the main series games, there is an item called a bottle cap, and with a bottle cap, you can increase the certain stats, so you can select whether you want to increase a Pokemon's HP, defense, or attack, and you can train it. So it goes into a bit of a training element. You have that Pokemon as your buddy, walking around with it, and you can train it, or you can use those bottle caps to level up that move. So in Pokemon Go, what people have found in the code is that those sort of bottle caps may be coming to Pokemon Go. It's been found in the code recently, and the way they potentially could work is you have to have a Pokemon as your buddy, so your buddy Pokemon. Once you've selected a Pokemon as your buddy, you could then go into training with that Pokemon. So what that will mean is that you use a bottle cap or whatever feature they add in, similar to a bottle cap. You could then use that item on your buddy and select which stats you want to increase. So whether you want to increase attack, defense, or HP. And from my understanding, you can only increase one stat by one level. So potentially if you've got a 14, 15, 15 shiny, or a 15, 14, 15 shiny, or anything that's missing just one stat, you could power that one stat up so that you get a hundo or a shundo. And choosing what stat you get, exactly, yeah. So if you have a 98 shiny Rayquaza, you can turn that into a shundo or a shlundo if it's a lucky one. And you can choose that as your buddy, use this item on it to put it into training, and select which stat you want to increase it by, of course the one that you're missing. And then you get certain tasks that you have to do with your buddy to do as a training. So it won't be an easy task by any means, and they will also be time gated, so you have a certain amount of time to which you have to do that task. Now, I don't know what the task is going to be, but it's not going to be easy. They're not going to give this feature out and make it easy to achieve, but you do have to do these tasks in a certain amount of time. So potentially it may be a task which only requires you to do this feature during a Go Fest or a day where you're going to be playing loads. So it may be something like that, and that is how they might limit how many you can do. Bottle caps is going to be a massive thing in the game. What we found in the code is that you won't be able to use it on the likes of Shadow Pokemon. Shadow Pokemon will not be able to be used with this feature. It wouldn't surprise me if we make it that you can't use it on the likes of Gigantamax or Dynamax, because of course that is a relatively new feature, and everybody walking around with Hundo Gigantamax or Hundo Dynamax would probably kill that feature off pretty quickly. We want to try and push that feature and make it so that a lot of people spend a lot of particle packs. So I would fully expect them to limit what you can actually use these bottle caps on, but I'm hoping that you can use them on shinies. That would be really, really cool. We could actually have around about 3 or 4 Shundo Gengars in my collection, if that is the case, because we've got about 3 or 4 that we've got as a 98 shiny. So that would be really, really cool if we can. Shiny Lucky 98 Garchomp, definitely a very, very good one to do as a Shundo Garchomp. Garchomp Megas, of course, and is a very, very good ground type. So yeah, that is a very, very good chance to do. Yeah, Shlundo Garchomp incoming, definitely. So it is going to be a very, very cool feature. added into the game. How they implement it is going to be very interesting to see, and how many you can do is going to be interesting to see as well. So we've of course got the likes of a Master Ball, which is a very cool feature that we added into the game a couple of years ago now, and they are very, very limited on how they give those away. So we only seem to get a Master Ball probably once every other season. So I would fully expect the bottle caps to be something similar, potentially even more rarer than a lucky trinket perhaps. So it'll be interesting to see. It's going to be a very, very interesting few months on the game. Of course, Scopely have now brought Pokemon Go, but they won't have full control. Is it a spin of Frodo Biggins? No, it isn't. No. I like it though. I like how you thought that. I'll give you an explanation on my username in just a moment. But yeah, with Scopely taking over the reins from Niantic fully after Go Fest, there may be a lot more changes when that happens. So we'll have to wait and see. But for now, Niantic still effectively run the game. And of course, Niantic's team is going to be transferring over to Scopely. But Scopely's takeover won't fully come into effect until after this year's Go Fest. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is pretty cool. But no, going to my username, it is not a spin-off of Frodo Baggins from Lord of the Rings. Although I do like that comparison. It is not that spin-off. It is just a simple fact that my name is Dan. And at school I used to be called Danzo as a nickname. And then somebody took into account my height and mentioned that I was very big. So it became Danzo Biggins. And I was called that from school because of my name, the nickname, and then adding my height into the equation. And then it just sort of stuck. I was named Danzo Biggins from that point forward. And it's actually a pretty cool username because it's not used anywhere. So it's not one of these usernames where you have to keep adding numbers at the end of it because it's already been taken. It is very much one of these where I can use it pretty much on anything and it's never been taken, which is very, very cool. Yeah, it does make sense. Very, very cool indeed. Right, let's have a look and see what raids we've got on. So we've got 4 minutes until the Mega Sceptile raid. Would anyone like to see me solo that? We could potentially head down there for that and see if we can get a solo in on the live stream. That'd be pretty cool. Mega Sceptile solo. Yeah, let's head down there. We'll do that. Nice to meet you, Sage. If anyone does want to add me in game as well, you can do. I have a few spaces remaining. So if you want to add me in game, make sure to use that trainer code there. Yeah, Sceptile is quite an easy mega to take down. But yeah, trainer code up on the screen now if you do want to add. Make sure to add me. Already got me added. Awesome. Florigato shiny? No. No shiny Florigato. So slowly ducking and diving, working my way through the trees. We'll head over to a Sceptile now. And to make it a little bit harder with Mega Sceptile, we'll try and do a unique 6 solo. Cheers for a friend request. So yeah, we'll try and do a unique 6 solo with this Mega Sceptile. And what that means is that you use 6 unique Pokemon. So you can't use any Pokemon that are the same. So you can't have multiple Charizards, for example, in the same team of 6. You have to have completely 6 different Pokemon. So we'll use that and see. Cheers. Thanks so much. I think I've got that come through now. I think I've just added you, in fact. Let's clear out these. Yeah, day's going pretty well. Managed to get a couple of shinies on stream. Got a shiny Florigato and a shiny Pikachu, which is pretty decent. Let's just see those. For anyone tuning in late, we actually called this Florigato. Somebody had just joined the live stream and I said the words, "Thanks very much for joining. You have just joined us as we got a shiny Florigato," and it was. So we managed to get a shiny Florigato as we called it, which was pretty cool. And then we got a shiny Pikachu, 0 star, as most shinies are. Awesome. We'll work up that friendship. Do try and send as many gifts as I can. So if you can open those, that'll be brilliant. I do struggle to open loads of gifts in a day because, as you've seen, we've got 440 odd friends and you can only open about 20, so it's a bit annoying in that respect. Hatch an egg is still one of the tasks that we need to do. We're far away off it though. I have considered that, but I quite like it when it's clean. It has been something that's gone through my mind a couple of times, but I do quite like it when it's clean. But yeah, I think it may be something that I can consider. But yeah, it is something that draws your eye into it a bit. I know a few times when people have had YT after their name, I've thought, hey, they've got a YouTube, and I've searched them. Yeah, exactly. So I have seen that a couple of times. It does definitely pull my eye in, especially when I'm playing other games as well. Like I play Rocket League as well quite a few times, and when I'm going up against anybody with YT in my name, I always do a YouTube search to see if they're live now and see if I can see myself playing against them. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely consider it. Something that could potentially get the channel out there a bit more, get the subscriber count up. So we are now hatched on the Mega Sceptile. Now Mega Sceptile does change its typing when it megas. It goes from a... Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Sceptile goes from a normal grass type into a grass and dragon type when it megas. So it's going to be doubly weak to ice. So Kyurem could come into, the white Kyurem that we've got could come into a factor. If we are doing a unique 6, could we use white Kyurem and black Kyurem, or is that not unique? Because they're both Kyurems. Got a shiny Blazier Fallon yesterday, that's really cool. It's a super cool shiny, isn't it, Blaziophalon? I've managed to get 5 so far. I think I've traded 1 away. So yeah, we've got 4 Blaziophalons left as shinies. But it is a super cool shiny. Yeah, so 5-star raids are... I do struggle sometimes to do 5-star raids in my area. Some days though, I'll have my son with me and he's got an account which is also very high level. So there isn't many 5-star raids that we could do without the 2 of us. But when that's not the case, then yeah, I do struggle when I'm on my own sometimes. There's a couple of 5-stars that we can solo. Exactly. Connor's give it away. Yeah, make sure to drop a like on the video. We are going to solo Unique 6 solo this Sceptile. Partly cloudy weather, so neither us nor the Sceptile will be weather boosted. Right, we've found a bench, we've found the Sceptile. Let's jump in. So, Mega Sceptile. It is recommending that we use a lot of Kyrums, Rayquaza and Mamoswine. Now Rayquaza obviously because Dragon is weak to Dragon, and Mega Sceptile, like we just said, does get a Dragon typing when it Megas. So let's change this team up a little bit, and we will go for Kyurem, but we do need some Unique 6 counters. So let's go for Shadow Mamoswine. Let's go for Rayquaza, as it mentioned. And then let's go for some more Ice types. So let's go for Glaring Darumaka, or Darmanitan should I say. So Darmanitan, there. Let's go for Ice. And we have Baxcalibur, another good Ice type. And let's see if we can go for anything else. Maybe another Dragon. Let's see. Dialga, Roar of Time. That could be a 1. So that is going to be our Unique 6 against Sceptile. Can we take Sceptile down with a Unique 6 of Kyurem, Mamoswine, Rayquaza, Darmanitan, Baxcalibur and Dialga? Let's ready up and find out. Now we are going to go ahead and Mega Evolve our Rayquaza. May help us out a little bit. Now to Mega Evolve Rayquaza, you do need to have Dragon Ascent on Rayquaza as a charge move, else you won't be able to Mega Evolve it. And you do need to use a Meteorite as well if it's the first time you've done it. So here we go. Hundo level 50 White Kyurem, of course, only came out during the recent Go Tour in March. Super effective Mega Sceptile is running Dragon Claw, which isn't going to do very good against our Ice types, but will do a lot of damage against our Dragon types, which we have a few in our team. 3 Ice and 3 Dragon, to be precise. Here is another Dragon, and this is the Mega Rayquaza. Now, we will go ahead and use Breaking Swipe, Dragon against Dragon. Let's just switch and see if Dragon Ascent does any bigger amounts of damage. It does a lot more damage. So let's keep using that Dragon Ascent. Just got another one off there before we fainted. Now into our Galarian Darmanitan. Now we have saved this team, so we can revive it and then go back in. Baxcalibur. Second to last Pokemon that we've got, and it is another Dragon and Ice type, the same as White Kyurem. Well, that does mean we'll get beaten up pretty bad with that Dragon Claw, that Mega Sceptile is running as a charge move. But still, Baxcalibur is doing pretty decent damage with that Avalanche. Can't wait until Shiny Frigiback gets released this Pokemon Go Fest. That is going to be very, very cool. And now we are into our last remaining Pokemon, and we are going to use Roar of Time on this Dialga. Dragon Claw doing a lot of damage against this Dialga. So it looks like we may have to revive this Unique 6 team. And we are going to have to. So when you do get defeated and you are in the lobby, you will have to revive your Pokemon. But when you go back in, the raid boss will gain 5% of its health because nobody's been there to defeat it. So every time you faint out, you will see an increase in the raid boss's health. Let's get some of those ice burns off. White Kyurem does an immense amount of damage. Very similar to the Mega Rayquaza, in fact. But of course, this one, Ice type moves are doubly effective against the Grass and Dragon. And there it is, Unique 6 solo is completed in 76 seconds remaining. So, pretty easy, really. Mega Sceptile, we don't know what CP is a good one. But is it a shiny one? No. No, it is not. No shiny from the Mega Sceptile raid. 1560 CP. Headed back by our Yveltal, our buddy. Doesn't stay in the ball though. And there we go. So 1560 CP Sceptile from the Mega Raid is actually not a bad one. 93 on the IVs, 14, 15, 13 on the stats. So not a bad one at all. So let's call him Solo Sept. And that's quite a nice solo to do. Now, of course, Megas can be shiny, and they are increased shiny odds. It used to be 1 in 64, but then Niantic changed it to 1 in 128. So we weren't lucky enough to get that shiny that time round. Now, Max Particles, we need to collect a few more from Power Spots. There is a couple of Power Spots up there. One's got a Persimmon on. Both of those have got Persimmon on, in fact. But we may find another one as well. So we need to collect those. And then we can collect our walking ones. And that will see us over 1,500 because we have 600 walking ones to collect due to us doing that walking during the Gigantamax Max Battle Day yesterday when we was doubled. So, Mega Sceptile raid complete. Let's head over and see. Oh, we have got a particle there, a portal, should I say, a wormhole, and that will be a Blacephalon. So if anybody wants to raid a Blacephalon with us live on stream, please let me know in the comments down below. We will head over to that now, and we'll collect these Max Particles from the Power Spots as we go. But does anybody want to do a Blacephalon raid? Let me know and I can invite you on this one that's about to hatch. It is, of course, the very last day to try and get yourself a Blacephalon. It will change tomorrow. It will go to Cresselia as of tomorrow. So if you are in the Eastern Hemisphere and you normally get Stack Attacker, this could be a very, very good chance for you to get a Blacephalon for the last time. Let's take this gem. It's only got a half-beaten Typhlosion on it, so it should only take one hit. We'll turn this into a red gem. Shiny Typhlosion most, so quite a nice shiny. So if you haven't already seen the YouTube short video that I posted earlier today, then please go ahead and check that out. We did post a video regarding the Gigantamax Snorlax Max Battle Day and what we managed to do during that day, how many we did, how many shinies we managed to get, and if in fact we got the hundo. So make sure to go check that out. It is a YouTube short, so it's only about 55 seconds long. Really quick and easy review on the day. But make sure to go check that out, leave a like on it as well. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. So Blacephalon hatching in 5 minutes, just enough time to collect those particles from those two there and spin that new stock, which we are yet to spin. Tingo Rocket Grunt. Waters are treacherous, which we won't bother with. Could ideally do with Kiki, which could be a Ghastly. Still haven't managed to get a decent Shadow Ghastly as of yet. Did come out, did get released quite a while ago, Shadow Ghastly, but unfortunately got taken out of the Ghost Rocket Grunt pool for quite some time, and then it's recently come back into it. But it can also be Duskull and Shuppet, I believe. Waters are treacherous yet again. Loads of Shadow 5-star eggs, which will hatch as Shadow Registeel during the few weekends that we've got left in March. Sorry, April now. I've gone back in time. April, of course. Shadow Registeel is the current Shadow Tier 5 boss. But we will head up to that wormhole in just a moment. Let's do the power spots here first and collect these particles, and then we can collect the walking one and set ourselves up nicely for Max Monday tomorrow. So a reminder tomorrow, Max Monday, make sure to tune in to the live stream. We will be doing it again, and we will be doing our daily adventure incense just before it as well. So hopefully we'll go live from around about 5:30. But if not, we'll go live at around about 6. So in between 5:30 and 6, we will be live for Max Monday, and we'll either do our daily adventure incense before or after we've done the featured Dynamax. And what we normally do, we just tend to do the free Dynamaxes, so the ones that we can get with the free particles. Obviously we collect today, and of course what we get tomorrow. So it should be a lot that we can do tomorrow. Bearing in mind we'll hopefully end today on around about 1,500, and then we can collect another 800 tomorrow, so 2,300 in total. And I think it's a tier 1 tomorrow, so 250 max particles each. And that means we'll be able to do around about 10 Dynamax battles tomorrow, which will be really, really cool. It's just a shame that we are spaced out quite a bit where I am. So new Pokestop is now spun. We must be getting close to those eggs hatching now as well. Let's have a quick look on them. 0.5 kilometers until the one in a super hatches. So for some reason the particles have appeared on the screen after I've clicked on the Dynamax. That's the first time that's it. In fact, it's completely bugged me out. That is some weird glitch. Let's just reload that game, man. That is a very, very strange glitch, but still, we got the particles. Just means we've got to wait for it to load up now, which can sometimes be a nightmare. Hopefully not on this occasion, man. And we're back on. So particle wise now, we should be close to 1,000. There we are, 970, and we can collect 80 more today. But if we go ahead and collect that 600, we are now on 1,570. So leaves us in very, very good stead for tomorrow. Charcadet from the 7-kilometer egg. No shiny. 402 though. It's a 3-star, but not a very good one. 13, 12, 14. So thanks for the gift. Someone in Georgia, United States. Thanks so much for that gift, but unfortunately not a very good Charcadet and not a shiny one. Wouldn't have minded those stats if it was shiny. Unfortunately that's not the case. Pikachu, this is a hundo, 402 Pikachu. We've got ourselves a hundo costume Pikachu. Get in. 402 Pikachu. If we can catch it, that is. Of course, it's on a task, so it can't run away. It's a shame it's not shiny. That would have been so, so cool. But still, Hundo Pikachu with the sailor hat. Let's just confirm it via the appraisal. Yes, let's go. Hundo Pikachu. Happy days. So we've now got a shiny Pikachu and a Hundo Pikachu on live stream. Have we managed to get anything else Hundo? No. So just a Pikachu for today, but still a very, very cool Hundo to get today. So last but not least is going to be this Blacephalon. Can we get enough people to do it? But also, can we finish the live stream today with a shiny Blacephalon? That would be very, very cool if we can. So again, if you do want invites to the Blacephalon, please make sure to comment down below. You can add me right now and I can send you invites, or if you've already got me added, make sure to just comment your trainer name down below and I'll send you an invite as soon as we jump in the lobby. I should only need one more person to join me. It should be quite an easy duo. Hopefully we can find someone online to join us by sending out some invites. Again, don't forget, showcases finish in just under an hour if you live in the UK. 8 PM local time, your showcases will finish, so make sure to add on those today and you can work your way towards one of those Pikachu PhDs if you win them. Luckily we managed to get one of those quite a while ago. And we have just gone over 729 million XP, which is decent going. No, oh, we have got one scatterbug to collect. Sometimes it doesn't pop up, the scatterbugs. So you do have to just check that medal a couple of times, just to make sure, especially if you are pinning a lot of gifts, like I try to do. So I'm going to host a Blacephalon raid. So let's see if we can get this shiny as a nice way to sign off the live stream. Now what we'll try is we'll try and see if we can get enough people in just by spamming invites, and if that doesn't work, we will try the host a raid via campfire and see if that works. Let's jump in and send some invites over. So anyone who's online will be getting an invite now. So I haven't sent you an invite yet. And just bear with me. 2 people on already. Trickster is in. So it should be an easy duo this. Well, let's see if we can get some more people in. Both of us with the new avatar pose, the hammer. Super cool avatar pose. No doubt it will get boring after a while, but still, as it's quite new, it is really, really cool. Should be able to send some more invites out in just a second. So let's send those out now. So let's spam some invites and see what we get in terms of people joining us. So just 2 of us at the moment. Hopefully Trickster stays in. Trickster's gone and now we've got another one in, Iggy. It's a shame he didn't stay in because he would have seen that we've just got a new person in. "25 seconds now remaining. Just could perhaps do with another person coming back in. Maybe Trickster might come back in. Experienced Pod is now in, so 3 of us should take us down as long as we all stay here. Should be relatively easy to take down with 3 of us. Experienced Pod is gone. EG's going to stay in though, so let's see if we can do a duo with a level 37. We're going to try and see. So a little bit of friendship boost as well. It may go a long way during this battle. But only a duo, and this is with a level 37. Still doing a decent amount of damage at the moment. Not probably the ideal counters to go with. That one's a little bit better with Rhyperior. using rock types against a fire type will be definitely a lot better than using fire against fire. Groudon with Precipice Blades, doing decent amount of damage. And our Dawnwings Necrozma, our extra large 98. Potentially another one that we could use a bottle cap on if we do get that feature in game. It'd be nice to get a Hundo Necrozma. And this one, our shiny Dawnwings Necrozma, 93 this one. Two 2-1-0 now coming up on the timer, and we are nearly halfway, but still we are going to faint out. So again, Blacephalon will regain 5% of its health. So hopefully we can carry this level 37 over the line and get him an encounter for sticking with us. His team has just fainted probably. Mamoswine now in. So this might be towards our last Pokemon before our team faints. 175 seconds on the clock. This is going to be incredibly close. White screen, please don't freeze. There we go. Max survive. We haven't really set a team up. Let's just go with recommended. This is going to be close. 140 seconds on the clock. Now, Tyranitar is going to be boosted due to the weather, but its attacks won't be. Groudon, on the other hand, will be boosted. So we've been live now for just over 2 hours. If you've missed a bit of a live video, then we did manage to get a shiny Pikachu at first with a sailor costume. We then also managed to get a Hundo Pikachu with a sailor costume very recently, a 402 off a research task. And then we also managed to get a shiny Florigato with a hat. So that is a very cool collection to have today. And we are hoping to finish on a high and get a shiny or a Hundo Blacephalon. Of course, Blacephalon finishes in raids today, as well as Stakataka in the Eastern Hemisphere, and it will get replaced with Cresselia as of tomorrow morning. So one of the last times to get a Blacephalon. And we are going to be able to do this. We have pretty much carried this level 37. It'd be quite funny if he gets hardest hitter now. $23.25 is nowhere near the Hundo. It is weather boosted though. So we have taken down a weather boosted Blacephalon. Final strike. And have we managed to get a shiny? No. No shiny Blacephalon. We haven't managed to get another one. We've managed to get 5 so far. We've traded 1 away. We've got 4 left in our Pokemon collection. And this one would have been a nice one to add to it, but unfortunately, no Hundo, no shiny. But let's see if we can catch it and appraise it before we finish. Still breaks out. 12 more balls left. It's quite a nice one to do an excellent throw on though. Same with Stakataka. It's quite a big circle with Stakataka. And Blacephalon's quite similar. And there we go, we've caught it with 12 balls remaining. And it is a 91, so not bad on the IVs, 23-25. missing 1 off for defense and 3 off for HP, but a 91 overall, missing 4 in total. So not a bad way to end the live stream today. But let's just have a recap at the shinies that we managed to get. Shiny Florigato that we managed to call, in fact. We clicked on it as we said this will be a shiny Florigato, and it was. And then we had a shiny Pikachu as well, which was very, very cool. That was quite early on into the stream. And then, of course, that rather cool Hundo that we've just had before that raid, a Hundo Pikachu, which I don't think we had before, and it is a male one as well, which is all the cooler. It's a bit more nostalgic seeing the male tail on the Pikachu. So that is about it for today. Thanks very much for everybody who's tuned into the live stream, who's got involved in the comments down below, and anybody who has liked the video and subscribed to the channel as well. Please make sure to do that again in future. We will be live again tomorrow for Max Monday. Make sure to tune in for that 6 p.m. British summertime. We will be live again for that, so make sure to tune in for that. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.